If you're planning on traveling to the UK in the future, then there are some words that you need to know. If you thought you spoke English before you got here, then think again, because British English is a little bit different than what you might be used to. And as an American who has been here in the UK for a couple of months, I've been making a list of words that would be handy for you to know, and I will share them with you today. So let's start with food, because everyone loves food. One of the first words I learned when I got here and I wanted to order breakfast was what a bap is. So a bap is a sandwich. And I don't know why it's called a bap, but if you're looking for a breakfast sandwich or a bagel sandwich or something like that, and you're on Uber Eats or you're looking at a menu and you can't find it, then go for the bap, B-A-P, bap. Now this guy right here, you might know as a zucchini, but in the UK, it's called a courgette or a courgette. It's spelled like this. I'm gonna eat that later. This leaf you might know as cilantro, but oh no, in the UK, it's called coriander. That one took me a while to learn. Coriander. This is all of the vegetables I have today, so don't worry. But another one that you'll want to know is the word for eggplant, which here is called aubergine. And arugula, the salad green, which is one of my favorite foods in the world, here it's called rocket. Shrimp are called prawns, basil is pronounced basil, pasta is pronounced pasta, and herbs are pronounced herbs. And while we're on letters, Z in British English is pronounced Zed. And now a very important one, gummy bears, these are called Haribos here, or Haribos, one of those. Activities, sleeping, this is one of the first ones that I learned, and it seems to be different up here in Northern England. Here they will say that they're going to lay their head down or have a kip, K-I-P. So sleeping, napping, kipping, or kip. I don't know if they do it with ing, but you might hear somebody say, I need to lay me head down instead of my head down, or go for a kip. And if you're like, what the heck is that? It's asleep. Another big one, drinking. For drinking, you can go on the piss, but then you can also take the piss, which is teasing someone. And if you're drunk, you're pissed, I think. But then also slagging is teasing someone as well. So you've got some variation there. There's also a lot of fun words that you can use as verbs that convey action, like doing something or going somewhere. You can nip into something, you can nip about, you can nip around, you can pop about, you can pop in, about, and around things. You can pop over to someone's house. Love that one. You'll even see that on billboards, pop into the store, things like that. You can also crack into things. So you can get started with something by cracking into something or getting stuck in. I really like that. So if you're gonna get stuck into making some cookies or get stuck into some work, you're gonna use that one all the time. Bookmark that one. You can also get on with something. So you can just get on with it, proceed, go ahead. And now let's move on to stuff. So a bit or a bob here is a thing. So anything that we would use in American English for thing, that could be a bit. If you want to gather your stuff, you would get your bits together. I don't use that much, but yeah, bits and bobs. Petrol is gas. That's a very important one. I actually learned that one in Costa Rica. A bonnet is a car hood. For money, quid is pounds and p is pence. So 1 pound to $1, you could also call a pound a quid. So if something costs 50 quid, 50 pounds, and if something is 50p, that's like 50 cents. So it's like big P, little p, pounds, pence, you got it. The bathroom is another important one, and here you're gonna hear it referred to as the loo. So having traveled to Europe for many years, I used to call it the toilet because whenever I asked for the bathroom or the restroom, people would be like, toilet? Yes, okay, here it's the loo. So if you ask for the bathroom, the restroom, the toilet, they'll be like, ah, the loo. that way. Sometimes it's downstairs, sometimes it's in a basement, so be aware. Bachelor and bachelorette parties. This is your stag party and your hen party. Kind of feel like it should be like a rooster party and a hen party, or a stag and whatever a female deer is, I don't know. But you will see these very often throughout the UK, especially on weekends. So you'll see very fun looking bachelor and bachelorette parties happening. You might even see them in other countries. Very common for the Brits to take their stag and hen parties to other places, occasionally where they're not welcome. Like Amsterdam actually has a citywide marketing program, anti-marketing program, to keep British stag parties away. So anyway, if you didn't know, now you know. Descriptions of things. If you like something, you can fancy it. You can fancy a thing, you can fancy a bit, you can fancy a person, and that just means you like them. You can also be cheeky. Cheeky can be, ooh, this one's hard to explain. Cheeky could be like happy or funny, but it can also be like scandalous in a way, but in a fun way. Like, you know, you could have a cheeky pint of beer, you can have a cheeky cupcake, you can have, you know, something that is like a special treat or something like that, or you could go for like a cheeky laugh, or I don't know. British people, comment all of the ways that you can use cheeky, because I feel like it's a universal word that can just go with anything. You can also be excited about something, which they would call gassed. And this could be like happy about something, like I'm gassed to be going out to dinner, something that you're looking forward to. So petrol, American gas, gassed, happy, or excited. We got those straight? Mint. If something is mint, that's cool, that's good, that's a good thing. And if you're minted, you've got money. Also a good thing. So like minting money makes sense. Let's move into some of the slang. One that you're going to hear all of the time is go on then, and that just means go ahead. But when my British friend who I met in Costa Rica, she used to say go on then all of the time, and I thought it was so weird. But if I would offer her a coffee, she would be like, oh, go on then, and that means yes, I would like you to give me a coffee. But it can also just be used the way that Americans might overuse words and phrases like, for example. But go on then can kind of be like, yeah, okay, or let's do it, or sure, yes. It can mean a lot of things depending on the context. And that's another big one here in the UK, which is all right. So all right just means how are you? Or you also will hear are you okay, or are you okay? And you're gonna hear this 24/7, and it's quite lovely. Like yesterday I was walking in the rain. I got an Uber to take some of my laundry to wash, dry, fold, and I'm carrying the bags down the sidewalk, and a guy is standing outside of a restaurant. He's like, you all right? Like, he was asking, do you need help carrying your bags of sheets? And so you can kind of get that connotation with just one word, with just all right, you can get what they mean. And so if someone says all right to you, you could just say all right back. Or if they say you okay, they don't mean like, are you physically okay right now? They just mean like, how are you? And you can say all right. That would go well together. Or you can be like me, and when people say all right or okay, I could be like, oh yes, good, how are you? And you can continue to be American or whatever country you're from, and that works as well. Kind of like how in Spanish in Costa Rica, pura vida could mean that you're doing well. If somebody says, how are you? You could say pura vida, like all is good. And it could also mean thank you. And somebody can give you something and say, oh, pura vida, thanks. And that's kind of how aloha is used in Hawaii as well. It can mean hi, it can mean thanks, it can mean all good. INNIT. INNIT. This is a big one. INNIT is short for isn't it? And this could be a filler word. And you'll even see this in text messages. So in writing, people will just be like, oh yeah, INNIT. It's a nice day today, INNIT, isn't it? And the more posh you are, the more you might pronounce this one. So depending on which part of the UK you're from or where you are traveling in the UK, you might hear people say, isn't it? And maybe that's the more posh pronunciation. Up here in the north, it's INNIT or whatever. Losing the plot, one of my favorites, and this is one that I learned in Australia actually. Losing the plot is another one that can be used in all different contexts. So whenever you do something that doesn't make sense or is surprising or maybe that people think is dumb, they're gonna be like, are you losing it? Have you lost the plot? And if you do something crazy, like if you're like, you know what, I decided I'm gonna go bungee jumping today, people be like, have you lost the plot? Like, why? Why would you do that? Or, you know, anything that you do that's out of the ordinary or that catches people off guard, they might be like, you losing the plot. Are you losing touch with reality? That's the way that I interpret it, but feel free to add your personal definitions below. Garage. Garage is garage, as we would say in the US. And the weird thing is there aren't many garages here that I have seen. Garage is usually attributed to a type of music. So garage is a music genre and you can't call it garage. You just can't. It's garage. That is what it is. So if you hear that, that's that. Other words that are pronounced differently here that might catch you off guard at first. Schedule, as we would say, is schedule. Leisure is leisure. Vitamins are vitamins, and route, like if you take a route to go somewhere, that is a route. And I don't know if route has another pronunciation. Maybe route is route. I don't know about that one. But yeah, a route is a route. An advertisement is an advertisement. And then there is this whole debate about how to pronounce scone. You know, the pastry. I go for scone, but apparently here you can also pronounce it as scun, or I don't know if I'm even pronouncing that right, but scone or scone or scun. There's different pronunciations there. You've got some flexibility, but if you're from the US, you're probably like me, you're gonna go with scone. And you'd be fine with that. Everyone will know what you're talking about. What is your favorite type of scone or scone, by the way? Comment below. I am partial to blueberry, but I also like a raspberry, maybe with some orange in it, like some orange peel, something like that is quite nice. I like a vanilla scone. I used to like those little like vanilla petite scones at Starbucks, but they're not the best scones you can get. Anyway, I'm a fan of scones. Also crumpets, but you would know that if you watched my other UK videos. Moving on. In the UK, you mind the gap, and in the US, you watch your step. So this one's funny. You'll see it on the road everywhere. Mind the gap, you'll hear it on the train, mind the gap, or on the metro, the subway. That's another one. The tube is the metro or the subway here. And I was just in New York and it said, watch your step when you're getting onto the train. So you can watch your step or you can mind the gap. You can mind things here. That is a thing. In the UK, they also like to sort things. So sorting is our equivalent of fixing something or resolving something. So one of the sayings that I really love that I hear all of the time on the train is, if you see something strange, then say it to the train personnel and they will sort it. So see it, say it, sorted. And this just fills me with contentment, because I like the idea that I could just say something to someone in charge and they're gonna handle it. They're gonna sort it. And I just feel like the Brits are good at sorting things. They see a problem, they sort it. In the US, we like to observe and acknowledge problems. We like to talk about problems. We like to argue about them, but we don't necessarily resolve them. We just leave them there to be a point of contention for everyone to argue about. And so one of the things that I really appreciate about the UK is their ability to sort things. And I'm not just talking about clothes. Tomato, tomato, what did I miss? Let me know in the comments below. And if you are a long-term subscriber, then welcome back. Drop me a comment to say hi. If you're new here, my name is Kristin. I've been to more than 60 countries in the last 20 years. And this channel is to help you travel better, travel farther, travel longer, and also integrate more in the cultures where you're traveling. So if you want to see more videos like this, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that bell, and I'll see you on the next one.